Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So we got another Meatloaf episode here. A couple things are new. We got a bunch of UPS this last week. Things we'll open up and take a look at. I got a mystery box that came in, and I think I know who it's from, but we're going to open that up on camera and see what's in it. Got a couple of new tools. What else? What else is on my list here? I got a couple of stories. We're going to shoot some pins up on the map, and oh, we got a couple of interesting little repairs that we're going to do on some antiques from somebody. Anyway, so a little mix, you know, the usual Meatloaf. We got a usual mix, and we're going to get going and get to it. So let's open some boxes first and look at some tools, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so first thing we got is the UPS guy came by and left this box on the dock out there, and there was no name on it other than my address here, who it was from. So I was trying to figure out who it was from, and then I noticed it had a Pensacola, Florida return address to it. So I'm pretty sure this is from Adam Booth, A-Bomb 79. And for those of you that have never seen his channel, be sure to go check it out. Adam's got all kinds of really cool stuff on his site there. Does a lot of lathe work, four-jaw work, just some general good machining stuff. So be sure to check it out, leave him a comment, and so he knows you stopped by. Anyway, he and I we horse traded back and forth a little bit, and it looks like it's my turn now. He sent me a little box, so we're gonna open it up and see what we got here. So my favorite sound is the woo, be careful there, is the UPS truck showing up. So. Oh, looks like we got a little letter here. Let's see. Okay, so all right. Let's see what we got here. Huh. Some interesting stuff. So let's see. Yeah, maybe I'll just pull all this stuff out here. So we got looks like we got a hat. Looks like some oil cans. Those Eagle oil cans, and we got some. It's like hand cream or something, and then what's this? Oh, there's another note in here. We'll look at that in a sec. Okay, so. Let's read the letter here, because this is kind of the interesting mix of stuff here. Get my reading glasses on here. Hey Tom, just wanted to send you a couple things for the shop. These are some of my favorite things and products. The hat I got from Chuck, Outside Screwball. I think you guys know him. He's a local guy around here. He's got a YouTube channel too, so check him out. The hat I got from Chuck, Outside Screwball. Apparently he has a bunch of these. I guess he has a lifetime power user membership and gets some all the time. Gets some all the time. Oh, the next thing, I know you have seen how silky smooth my hands are in my videos. I noticed your hands are pretty rough. Inside is my favorite hand lube, and will make your hands nice and soft. Okay, I guess that's the udder cream there. I'm also sending some of these crappy oil cans to you. They hurt my finger to pump them anymore, so I thought you might like them. Wow, that's pretty nice. Happy holidays, Adam. Well, Adam, thank you very much for all that stuff. That's wonderful. And I don't know if I'll wear the hat around too much, but thank you very much. Excellent gift. So let's see what's in here. looks like there's another note in here. Okay, yeah, this is a little different here. Yeah, I think I'm going to move the camera a little bit, and then I'll read this note in here too. So, okay. Okay, so the next thing is that I wanted to show is some couple of new tools. Now I've had this is a Blake coax here, and I've had this for a while. But I've been watching Adam and Keith Finner, and they both have one of these little spring-loaded centers here that fit the coax for picking up center punch marks. Anyway, I thought that was kind of a neat idea, and I never really got into the Blake coaxes. I bought this one, and it had a bent spindle in it, and I sent it back to Blake, and they fixed it up for me for a fraction of the new price. Anyway, so I've been kind of trying it out on different stuff, and this seemed like kind of a fun thing to use it for picking up scribe marks. Anyway, so that just fits in there, and this moves back and forth this way, and then, well, it's kind of hard to push on with a bare finger. Anyway, that's kind of spring-loaded, and you can pick up a center punch mark with these, apparently. So I'm going to try that and see how that works. Anyway, I got that directly from Blake. They're down in Southern California, and they're real friendly people to deal with. And this is brand new from Blake, and it's like $35, something like that. And then, you know, while I was ordering from them, you know, of course, oops, I ordered an additional little side thumb screw, because it certainly seems like something that is pretty easy to lose. Anyway, it's a couple bucks, so I got that. Now, these come with some different styluses here. That's an ID one, and this is an OD one here, the curved ones like that. So now I've made a couple myself. Let's see. I can grab one real quick. Yeah, made a couple here on my own, just because I wanted some bigger ones. And this is just 3/16 steel rod, and you just cut a little flat on one end to fit the thing. And then what I did here was I just took a small ball bearing, you know, a hard ball bearing, and put some Everdur on it, probably Everdur, yeah, it looks like it, to connect it to the rod. So now I got a stylus that's reasonably wear resistant, and the flatness indexes with the set screw there. And then now you can do some pretty mighty ODs there. I got some big shaft work coming up here in a couple of months, and so I'm kind of just thinking about that and getting ready for that. Of course, these don't fit in the box, but anyway, it still goes in the toolbox. Anyway, so that's one of the new tools that showed up. And all right, what's your problem? Okay. So then the other thing I got that showed up was these little indicator buttons. And let's lay this down here. When I was doing that big hand wheel over there, there were some bumpity bumps in there, and I needed a little longer range travel. So I wanted, these are small, and they tend to find the smaller imperfections. So what I did was I ordered these curved buttons, and they have a little 448 thread on the end of them, or a little stud. Let's see if they fit. I haven't tried them yet. Come on, Mr. Wood. There we go. Okay. Feels good. Anyway, the idea is that those glide over imperfections. Imperfections, that's right. Gouges and nicks in the work, and kind of ride over those smoothly, and so you can use these longer range indicators. And these were a couple bucks a piece, $3 and $3 or something like that. And so I got a couple different diameters while I was ordering there. That's 3/8 diameter, I don't know, around 10 millimeters, and then 1/4 diameter. And then 1/4 diameter, 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 and then 1/ that's a 1/2 inch diameter there, so 13 millimeters or whatever. So okay, a couple new tools there, the coax deal and the indicator buttons. Okay, so the other thing that showed up on UPS is the Z scale for the DRO on the lathe. So these were back ordered because I needed a long one for this machine. So this finally showed up, and so we'll pick up on that project. I need a couple pieces of material for that, so I probably won't unpack this, but this will be coming up pretty soon. We'll finish that lathe DRO install. And it was packed, you know, I kind of checked it out a little bit, make sure nothing was jacked up. It was packed real nice, and these guys did a real nice packing job, and they sent it out as soon as they came in stock. Anyway, so we're gonna get going on that. Not today, but soon. Okay, I couldn't hold out any longer. Adam Booth, A-Bomb 79. He sent me some really nice stuff in that box that I opened earlier, and I was just pulling his leg a little bit with some joke stuff. Anyway, I'll show you the stuff that he sent me because it's really cool, and I really like it. So now I owe Adam one, partly because I pulled a joke on him, and partly because he sent me some nice stuff here. So let's read we'll read his real letter, not the phony baloney letter, and see what he has to say here. It says, Tom, I wanted to send you a little care package from my dad and me. His dad is Johnny Booth, and I think we've just barely seen him on a video. He watches all the videos and gets a kick out of them. So anyway, thanks Johnny, thanks Adam. Let's see, for my dad and I really appreciate all you do for all the YouTubers out there, and what you have done for me. Well, you're welcome. You're right, I'm still young and I still have a lot to learn. I don't work around other machinists anymore, so watching you and others like Keith Fenner allows me to keep learning the machinist trade. I always pick up tips and tricks I've never seen before. Keep doing what you do because guys like me really appreciate it. Well, I appreciate you too, Adam. Thank you. So, about my care package. The first item you'll see is a bucket of hand wipes. These are the Kimberly-Clark wipe balls. I use these often in the shop. They work great when you quickly want to clean your hands without going to the sink. And I'm not going to open them right now here. They're also great to throw in your truck and use when you're out looking at those big vertical boring mills. So, by the way, I still haven't seen the truck show up with mine. Oh yeah, it's on the way. It's on the way, bud. Yeah, it'll be there anytime. The second is a Noga shirt. So this is really cool because you guys know I'm a Noga fan, and so you'll be seeing me in this T-shirt pretty soon here. And there's a Noga shirt, so you'll be seeing that pretty soon. So by the way, Noga means persnickety and fussy in Swedish, and it means leg in Polish, I believe. So a couple of viewers have told me that, which both are kind of fitting. Okay, second is a Noga shirt I got with a recent purchase from MSC. It's a little small for a big guy like me, so I thought you would like it. Well, you're right, I do like it. Thank you, Adam. The last item is one of my lead knockers used by me and designed by my granddad. I hope it comes in handy around your shop. Enjoy. Thanks again, buddy. Your friend Adam. Well, thanks, Adam. I appreciate that. And now I put the advertising on here for you. This is one of his lead knockers. Now, Adam, I'm a little upset because this one looks kind of used, bud. I was kind of hoping for a fresh one there. So, but this thing's pretty good. It's got a good little bop to it. So we're gonna try this out, and you can see how they poured it there. So it looks like it was a tapered piece of pipe or something like that with one end flared a little bit, and then it looks like they poured from this end here, and it's got a good heft to it, not too heavy, not too light, and nice soft face. So anyway, thanks a lot, Adam. We'll put this out in the shop and start using it. Anyway, thanks, pal. All right, we're going to shoot a few pins in here. So the first one is Robert Patwan. He's in Joliet, Quebec, Canada. So let's get one in there for Robert. Well, there's Montreal. We're a little north of Montreal, I think. There you go, Robert. Doink, you get a yellow pin, Robert. Thank you very much for your comments. Okay, next one, we jump all the way across the world here, and this is Johan Delport, and he's in Pretoria, South Africa, which is right here. We get a pin in there for Johan. Thanks, Johan. And okay, next one, we got to jump to this map here. I gotta find a way to do this quick here. Jump over to this map. This one problem with this is, so this has got a good nice close-up of Europe, but it doesn't show some of the other stuff that we need. Okay, so the next one here, this guy, he lives on Guernsey, which is in the Channel Islands between England and France. So that is right here. There's Guernsey right there. Oh, looks like they got an airport there even too. Okay, so he's out in the Channel Islands there, which is kind of cool. And that is, did he give his name? Oh, Andrew Norman. Andrew Norman, he did give his name. So thanks, Andrew. Appreciate that, and thanks for watching the channel. Okay. Yeah, well, then we gotta jump back here. These don't come in order. I can't control the order of them. So this is Tom from Boronia, Australia, and it's near Melbourne. All right. So what is there? Is there a machining club down there in Melbourne? Come on, guys. Let's get some guys out here, okay? All right. Well, we gotta jam them in there. Anyway, thanks, Tom. Appreciate the he bought the book. Appreciate that. Thank you. And his handle is Tupari01. So whatever that means. Okay. And we got another Australian here, and he doesn't give the city, or does he? Let's see here. Yeah, just Peter from Australia. He's a Dooney Master. All right. So since we're all jammed up in the corner of Australia, we're just gonna, you know what? Sorry, Peter, we're gonna stick one out there. I'm pretty sure you're not out there, but you don't give the city, so we need to spread out a little bit there. Anyway, thanks, Dooney Master. Thanks for the comments. Okay, check these off. Then we got another guy here back in the UK. Alright, and he is in West Wales. And this is Liam Caffs, Liam MC. West Wales, okay. Oh, I think it was right kind of north of Swansea, right there. Looks pretty close. Let's try that. Anyway, thanks for the comments, and let's see. Oh, he's talking about the 127 divisions is part of metric imperial conversion. That's exactly right. 25.4 divides evenly into 127, which is kind of an interesting thing. So, okay. All right, that was Liam. Okay, next guy, GRX67. This is Dan from Kent in the UK. We got a lot of UK viewers here. Alright, well, we're just going to go right in there. He's pretty close to Chris Stevens there, the big star. Anyway, thanks Dan. Appreciate the comments. He likes the multi-axis stop. Well, you should go visit Chris because he made one over there, okay? So he made a couple of them, I think. All right. Okay, so next guy here, he's in Italy, and this may be our first Italian here. And he hails from Rome, and this is Giuliano, or Julian, from Rome. And there's Rome. All right, I think that's our first Italian there. Great. Next. Very good. Very professional. So I actually had to do a translation on what he sent. And I used the Google Translate, which works pretty good. Kind of neat. All right. Thanks, Giuliano. Giuliano Gasola. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we got to jump back to Canada again. We'll figure this thing out. I need James Bond license plate maps here so they can just flip. Okay, so we got Rod in British Columbia, Canada. Anything else? Oh, he likes the little rod bender. So, and I probably told you, but go to the blog site, oxtool.blogspot.com, and you can find the drawings for the little rod bender. They're on there, and you can download them and build your own. Okay. His handle is New Machinist. British Columbia. He doesn't say where. All right. Well, we're just gonna go. We'll go right in there somewhere. Okay, thanks, Rod. All right, so we're going to move over to the United States here and do some pins. First one we got is 2007 Mark B. That's his handle. I'm assuming his name is Mark, and he's in White Marsh, Maryland, and which is a little north of Baltimore. So we're going to stick one in right a little north of Baltimore there. Oh yeah, I remember looking at it. It's not too far from Aberdeen. So we're going to stick one in there for Mark. Thanks, Mark. Let's check that one off. Next one we got is Robert Jeans. And he's in Rochester Hills, Michigan, a little north of Detroit. And let's see. He builds model engines and stuck without a way to index. So, well, we did some videos on indexing, so hopefully that's helped him out some too. North of Detroit. I don't see it here, so we're just going to stick one up here, right there for Robert Jeans. Thanks, Robert. All right. And next one here, Lee Lim. And he's in San Diego, and let's see, add a pin for me, great vids. Okay, well, thanks, Lee. All right, San Diego. Yeah, that's our first San Diego. All right, boom. All right, very good. All right, moving on. Okay, next one is Marvel Man 74, and let's see here, he's in Bloomington, Illinois. Pin me and Bloomington. Home shop machinist, your booking videos have really stepped up my work. Okay, well, thanks for the compliment, Jim. So that's, yeah, Jim, Marvel Man 74. And he's kind of southwest from Chicago in Bloomington, I think is what it was. Yeah, Bloomington right here. All right, yeah, we're getting a good bunch of pins there in Illinois. All right. All right, next one here is Crazy 2000, and he is in Inman, South Carolina, and his name's Richard. So South Carolina, yeah, okay.
I don't see it here specifically. Huh. Alright, well, we're going to go... interesting, okay. Alright, we're going to go right there.
I don't know why. I wrote my cheater notes on here. It says east of Charlotte.
But Charlotte is North Carolina, so... yeah, I guess I didn't see it, the state dividing line on the map, I guess, or something. Anyway, thanks, Richard. Thanks for the comments. Okay, so then we got the Professor Fate. This is Randy in Bakersfield, California, which is right here. That's an easy one. In the middle of the state, horizontally there. And sorry, I forgot to mention my name. Oh yeah, okay, Jack Lemon. All right. Yeah, some guys, you know, when they communicate with me, they kind of forget to leave out their name, which now I got to use their handle, which complicates things when you're trying to converse. But that's okay. All right. Okay, so the next thing I want to show is a couple of repair jobs here that we're going to work on. And let's look at this one first, because we can kind of set this one up pretty easily here. So this is a pretty cool old cast iron door knocker. I don't know where it comes from. Probably France. That's where most of this particular guy's stuff comes from. Anyway, it's got a stuck nut here, and we got to be a little bit careful with it, because you know. If you just try to reef on that and wank on it, you may lose it here because it's got some corrosion and it looks pretty bad. So what we want to do is we don't want to transmit that force back into this part of the casting, so we want to hold it here. And you can't really get it in the vise very good there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a secondary thing here like this. And hold on to it. Now these are, oops. Oh, there it goes. Okay, something weird. Maybe I was squeezing them too hard. So what we'll do is we'll hold it like this. Actually, I'll move these around a little bit. And these are copper jaws, and we'll hold on that, and then we'll put a little penetrating oil on that, and we'll put a little heat on that, and we'll see if we can get that to go. Actually, if I go like this is what I'll do. There we go. That's what I want. Alright, so we can hold like that and get a pretty good grip on that and not mar that. So now I can get at it and I can turn this, and I'm not transmitting any force into the casting. So I'm going to get some penetrating oil. We'll get a little on there, and then I'll just warm this with a propane. We'll see if we can get that to go. So hopefully that. Can you see any of that? Yeah, okay, you can see that good. So that's that one. And then this one here is off of an old bed or something, a cast iron bed frame, and it's a cast iron frame here. And he had one of his guys modifying this a little bit so that it plugs into the bottom, but they got a little excited there, and they kind of lost the the leg. So this will be a little bit interesting here, because what we got to do is get the axle out of there, and this is a wooden wheel. We're going to get that out of there. Then we have to do a little welding, a little prep and welding on this cast iron. Then we have to reinstall an axle, and then these are kind of mushroomed over. But we got to be a little bit careful when we do that, or else we're going to do the same thing. So we'll have to horse around with that a little bit. Anyway, that's kind of an interesting little repair projects. Okay, so we're just going to put a little Kano Labs air coil. This is some really awesome penetrating solvent here. Oops, my little valve is kind of funky there. I'm just going to liberally apply some of that. And then what I'll do now, just initially here, is just get a little heat on this, on the nut. Now for now, I just want a little heat on the nut, just so this can do its little business in here. And we'll just let that sit. You know, patience is your friend with some of these things here. And just for shits and grins. Nope, okay. So we'll let that sit. I'll give it a little more of that, a couple more doses of it. What I wanted to do was just warm that up a little bit to expand it so that stuff can leak in there and do its magic. And then we'll come back to that. We'll fiddle around with this other one and come back to that in a little bit. All right, so we got this in the vise here, and what we're going to do is to remove this axle. I'm going to come in with this little coping saw here and saw that axle so I can separate the two halves. But what I don't want to happen is I don't want to gouge up the side of this the patina on that nice wood wheel there, which is kind of sweet. So I'm going to use a little bit of my this trippy masking tape here. Oops, I need a smaller piece to give the saw something to kind of ride on there and not injure that. And this will stick nicely to that. Let's put another piece on there. This stuff is so sticky, it's kind of hard to work with sometimes, but that's what's cool about it is that, come on, do that. Slip it down in there. It's not going to take up a lot of thickness. And anyway, it should hopefully protect that. This stuff barely cuts with scissors, you know. So tenacious. So, you know, one of the rules is preserve what you got, you know, when you're working on something, right? That way you don't have to fix anything else when you're doing a little repair like this. You know, it takes 2 minutes to put some tape on here. Well, yeah, 2 minutes, something like that, to put some tape on, and it just makes for a nicer job. Okay, let's try that. Push this over as much as I can. Nothing bad's happening. You see, it's scuffing this stuff, but I'm actually cutting it. Tighten this up a little more. See, now, something I didn't anticipate, but it looks like it's okay. Alright, and the wheel survived the drop to the floor. So yeah, that was a boo-boo on my part, yeah. Almost could have lost that. All right, anyway, we didn't fuck it up, or excuse my language there. We didn't bozo that up. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Then let's see if we can poke that thing out. Yep. Okay, that comes out, and then we'll make a new axle and repair that. Okay, so we got our little axle out. We're all separated here. Well, I thought I had some 3/16 diameter material here, and I thought that would work fine for this little axle here. But in closer inspection here, this stuff's a little bit bigger here. It's a little over 200, or well, it's close to 200. Well, it turns out, like a lot of things this guy gets, this came from France. So what we have is a metric size. So it looks like it's 5mm. Rod is what we have here. Well, I don't have any 5mm rod, and this is, I don't like the fit here. This is a little too, you know, it's a little too waggerino there. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a new axle, okay? And so we're going to turn, it's actually going to be an interesting thing because we're going to turn along aspect ratio diameter here. So what I mean by that is this is the length of this related to its diameter makes it a tricky turning job. So, but there's a way there's a method I'm going to demonstrate. I call it step turning, where we kind of progressively work our way down. We're going to start with this stuff here, which is 3/4 diameter, 19 millimeter steel, and there's a reason we're starting with something that large, and we're going to bring it down to our 5 millimeters for our axle. So let's go over to the lathe, and then we'll get set up on the lathe, and we'll make ourselves a little 5 millimeter axle. And it's, let's see, what's our length here? So it's 1.5 inches long. All right, so we're over on the lathe here. We've got our 19 millimeter stock here, and what we want to do is we want to hang it out just long enough to get what we want out of it. Plus, just a little bit. All right, right about there. Crank it down. So the idea here is that we're starting with a large enough diameter to where we can face on the end and we can work on the end and not have that thing wiggle around. Okay, that's what we don't want. So you need to start large enough. It's not a material wastage issue; it's a support issue. So this diameter is large enough to support turning out at this area here without deflecting and moving around. We can still do an accurate job. So if you were starting to work on this shaft, this wouldn't be an alarming distance to hang that out. Okay. Now, if we had and I don't have a little piece. Well, so if we had something that would say this diameter here, right? We would only be comfortable hanging it out maybe that far to work on it. Okay, well the idea is we want to hang this out so we don't have to rechuck it midstream. Okay, and so this is self-supporting is I guess the way I think about it. So in this case we're going to use two tools here. We're going to use a roughing tool, and then we're going to use a low pressure finishing tool. So this is kind of high positive, very sharp, very deadly. It's not good for ripping away large amounts of material, but it's good for very light finishing cuts. Okay, and then here we have a roughing tool that's got a good chip breaker in it, and you can just tear away at that and get close to your finished diameter, and then we preserve our nice razor sharp finishing tool for that last bit. Okay, so with that said, let's get going, and we'll calibrate some tools. And first op is we're just going to face the end of this here and get that cleaned up. We're in gear. You see that there's no chatter, it's just behaving itself fine, and we can do whatever we want out of the end here. Alright, it's going to tool a little off center. Got a nice faced end there. So I'm gonna move the camera a little bit and zoom in on this operation a little bit so you guys get a sense of what's going on here. Okay, so let's start our turning operation here. So I'm going to just turn in a little ways there, a couple of diameters. see everything's kind of behaving itself. Alright, so we need to take a measurement now. Alright, let's see what we got here. I'm just going to use calipers for this one here. So, I don't know, we're about 6 millimeters right now, 6.08. Oh, 613. So we're about 613. I think we're going to switch to our finishing tool here. And we'll turn that and we'll calibrate our finishing tool here. Still got a millimeter left. Alright, so we're going to take a light cut with that. Alright. Take a light cut with that, and then we're going to measure it very carefully now. Alright, so we're 5.838. Alright, so I'm going to calibrate that tool. 5.838, enter. Okay, and now we're just going to go down to finished diameter. Wasn't quite finished diameter. And now we're going to, alright, there's 5 millimeters right there. Okay. Alright. Back up a little further. Alright, there's 5 millimeters. Alright, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to our roughing tool. And we're going to do the next step. And once again, it's all because this is self-supporting. So we're going to turn back about the same diameter, or the same length. Something like that. Come in, and we're going to work it down. To not leave very much for the finishing tool, so it preserves that. And that's the last cut for our roughing tool. We'll come in with our finishing tool. Quite diameter yet. We'll get most of it out of the way, and then the last cut is just very, very light. Like that. And we come out of there. Alright. And there's no step that I can feel. Alright. Anyway, so we're just going to work our way down the bar. I'm not going to show it all because it takes a little while. And but you get the idea. So we're going to end up with a 5 millimeter shaft that's 50 millimeters long. Okay. And then we're going to part it off, and we've got our axle. Okay, so we're down to the last little bit here now. Finishing tool in. Start point. Alright, then we go down to finish diameter, to 5 millimeters. Gently engage. Okay, so you can see there we got a little more than what we need, our 1.5 inches. Diameter is pretty smooth. Actually, let me just nope, I don't have one here. Anyway, you can see it's pretty good. It's nice and straight. There's no marks in it. If you're careful, there's no marks. Anyway, we'll part that off now, and now we got our little axle. So we got our parting tool in there. We're just going to slip this out just a little bit, right about there. A little more, oops, like that. Crank her down. Alright, let's knock that thing up. What I want to do is that I don't want to leave a washer on there, so I'm going to kind of split that edge. Mowing away that side too. We got a little pin with a little nub on it there, and we'll get it the right length, and there's our axle. Okay, so there's our new little axle there that we just parted off, and it's the oops, get out of there, 5 millimeter to replace that guy. So I got a little pip on the end there. I'll just belt sand that off. And then we have to do a little upsetting on the ends here to make our new axle for that. One thing I didn't mention over there was, you know, when you're turning small diameters like this, it's important that your tool is very sharp and that it's on center. So you need to be real accurately on center, and your tool needs to be very sharp for turning small diameters like this. Anyway, just kind of a point of reference. So there's our axle, and then we're going to do our little repair on that and get this finished. Okay, so this is the little axle that we made, and looking at it a little further, I should have made it a little bit longer. So what I did instead was I just put a little weld metal on the end, and I'm just upsetting this this end first, and I'm using the peen end of a ball peen here. create a nice upset, kind of decorative and you see here, because of where I have it in the vise here, it guides it right into the piece here. Okay, so I've created a little upset end there that looks kind of nice, and then we only have to do one end when we, I'll probably take a little off of the sides there. We only have to do one end when we put the whole thing back together. Okay, so we're creating our weld prep here between the broken parts, and I'm just using a file here because I want to go slow. So you always want to leave some of the broken edge as kind of your registration. It's got a tooth. The fracture matches back up, so you always want to leave a little line of that so you can get a good registration on your part. And then I'll do the other side of this, and then what we'll probably do is weld one side and then come back and back gouge that out and then weld the other side. That's generally how I like to do those kinds of things. Get some of that corrosion off of there. So we'll do the other half and then we'll get some welding. Okay, so here's how we're setting this up for the initial welding here. I've got an adjustable parallel in there that, well, this is how I'm going to attempt to do it here. And then I'm just going to very gingerly try to see if we can use a spring clamp on it. Let me, where's Knuckles when you need them? You need all these hands, right? I can push that around a little bit. So I'm trying to find the sawtooth of the fracture and get that aligned properly. Looks like I got to come up a little bit, so I'll just lift that up. Okay, it's looking better. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we're going to use our nickel 99 rod here to TIG weld this. Make sure I'm still good. Okay. Well in there. going to go around the other side and gouge out the back a little bit, and then we'll weld the back side. I think I'm going to get off the horse here. Alright, so there's a pretty good little weld underneath here, and it clears the wheel, so I'm going to leave that weld reinforcement underneath. Alright, and that's all he gets. Okay, so here's the twitchiest part of the whole deal here. So we got to put it back together now. We got it all welded and dressed up, and we've got one end peened over the way we want, and now we got to peen the other end over. Well, this is where you run into trouble. So that's what we got to do. We got to peen that over. Now normally you would peen that over and then use a rivet set that looks like this, and I was thinking I could support this like that, but this one's a little bit deep here. So what I'm going to do is create a temporary little rivet set to back that axle up, and we're just going to use a piece of steel here like this, and I'm going to set it down in the vise so it's down in there nice and hard. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the peen end of a hammer here, and I'm going to create a little seat similar to what the rivet set has. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use this hammer here, and I'm going to smack it with another hammer. So normally this is a bad deal, but this is a bronze hammer here, and this is a hardened steel hammer. You wouldn't want to hit two hardened steel hammers together. One of them needs to be soft. So we're just going to go for it here. Give it a good swat. All right, we got a little divot there. It's not much of one. Let me give it another one there. What I want is something that's, kind of deep enough that, yeah, you know what, I don't like that. So I think what I'll do, I'm going to go drill in there just a little bit with a drill point, and then give it a smack like that to kind of splay it out a little bit. Let me go drill a little hole. Okay, so I just used a little countersink, and I created a little seat, and let's see if we can kind of round that up a little bit. Maybe that peen end is not, you know what, we might need something a little smaller. Let me grab a hardened ball. Alright, so I found a little ball bearing, and we're just going to use that. This radius is kind of big here, so let's see what we get out of that. Oh yeah, that's better. And, well, that's all we're doing because the ball went scooting out of here. So, okay, so let's see, make sure you guys can see everything in there. Yeah, okay. I think that is, yeah, that should work. Okay, so I think we're going to put our welded side down, just so we're not twanking on that. Oh, and then here's so you can, so that's the original cast side, and that's the new welded side. So they both sound the same. No cracks or voids or anything that are causing a funny resonance. Okay, so there's the setup. Now we're in our little divot there. So it wants to stay in the divot. Now the next thing I want to do is is that going to be thin enough there? I want to protect this side a little bit by putting something under there that kind of keeps things tight. So I got to be a little bit careful when I'm dinking on that. And where's my, I need one more thing, guys. I got to get my, my Optivisor here. Because I can't see. I can't see. All right. Very gently, we're going to try to peen that over. Sure, I'm in my little divot there. What I don't want to do is hit the side here. Alright, that looks like plenty. Wheel turns. This is relatively firm. So that's half the battle, is knowing when to stop, guys. So I'm stopping, and I'm calling that done. Okay, not bad, huh? I didn't do this part. That's pretty rough, but they're on their own on that bit, so they can finish that up. See, my brain's going, oh yeah, just do a little more, right? But I'm not gonna, I'm stopping. Okay, so this thing's had a chance to sit for a little while, and it's even got a little wiggle going now. How do you like that? So once again, these are these copper-jawed vice grips that I make, and I'm just gonna grab it like that. Okay, well that was kind of a non-issue there. I'm gonna get a little thread file and clean those threads up a little bit. Okay, so I tried this thread file in it, and it's a 1.5 pitch. And these are these thread files that they just have the right pitch depth in them. And they're good for straightening and restoring threads. They just follow the, you know, they won't cut the thread any deeper, but they clean it out to the right thread depth. Yeah, I think I'll wire wheel that a little bit too. What do we got going in there? Yeah, well, this one looks like you could use a, yeah. Let's see if I got a, what size is that? 9 millimeter? Come on. 8.9 millimeter. Wow. That doesn't make any sense. Is it? $350, huh? That's, boy, that sounds like a blacksmith size to me. So, might have to use this to help us, there we go. Self-straightening. So these jaws, just so you know, these jaws are silver brazed on the, to the original vice grips here. Alright, as far as I'm going. Okay, another one. So both repairs done. And that's that guy there. Oop, clean him. Done deal.